All right. Primary way to communicate. We've been through this, but this is a good thing to think about. Whatever it is that you're doing with yourself or another person, there's only going to be 4 real ways that you're going to communicate it. Number 1 is visual. So how does it look? Pretty simple. How does it look to you? And then they'll say whatever it is that they say. The auditory or audio. All right. What does that sound? What does it sound like? What are you hearing? Kinesthetic or feeling. How do you feel about that? How does it make you feel? And then this one, this one here is T for thought. What do you think? Remember, thinking is talking to yourself within your own, within yourself, right? You're asking and answering questions. Now, why is this so important? You think about people's problems or challenges, whatever it is that they come to you with, and you said something so simple like this. When you think about your problem, do you see something, hear something, feel something, or say something to yourself? And they say, oh my God, I never really thought of it. Great, now's a good time to think about it. Think about it. Take a second. When you think about the biggest challenge, the biggest problem, the reason why you're here, whatever it might be, do you see something, hear something, feel something, or say something to yourself? Now, just out of those 4 questions, you will gather an immense amount of information, won't you? And the information and the data is the problem. So let's just say that they say visual. You say, great. What are you seeing? Well, I'm seeing myself, bloody bent over crying and bawling my eyes out because the thing that I really wanted didn't work. Okay, well, now we know that that's not going to cause, they're not going to be very happy about that. You say, great, is any audio connected to it? Yes, it's me saying, why? Why did this have to happen? Or this always happened to me. Cool, what about the feeling? It's a feeling of dread. All right, and then the thought, what are you thinking about it? What do you say to yourself? This happens every fucking time I get close to winning, whatever it is that they say. You understand. I know that you understand. Do you know how much information you get just from those 4 little things? It's crazy. So then what do you do with that information? Well, then you get to work on changing the information and the data. When you change the data, you change you change the projection. So here's a perfect little example. Let's just say that someone comes in and they have got a fear of public speaking, right? So they're in a business, they've got an opportunity to go and speak to the 25 people, do all their things, but for whatever reason, they're scared of public speaking. And I said, great, come on in. Hey, when you think about the fear of public speaking, whatever it is that you're going through, I'm really interested and curious. Do you see something, hear something, feel something, or do you say something to yourself? Let's go through them one by one. Do you see something within your mind? Yes. And then I would just write down, give me a detail of it. What is it that you see? Well, I see myself standing up the front of the audience and everyone pointing and laughing. Okay, well, that's probably not great. I would say, okay, great. Now, what I want you to do in your mind, and you can do this in your mind, what changes if you put a bag over everyone's head? Like a paper bag, right? If you put a paper bag over everyone's head, how does that change? Oh, it doesn't change at all. Okay, great. Now make the audience disappear. And it's just you up on the stage with no audience. How do you feel? I feel amazing. Okay, so there's a big difference there. Why do you feel amazing? Well, because there's no one there to judge me. So what have we just found out in, 40 seconds? They've got the fear of other people judging them. It's got nothing to do with the fear of fucking public speaking. It's got the fear of judgment from others. Well, they're 2 different worlds. And all of a sudden, one person goes and does all these courses. They do hypnosis for the fear of public speaking, when if that judgment isn't addressed, the judgment won't be addressed. Now, you would think if you were pretty switched on and you did have a fear of public speaking course, then the fear of judgment would be pretty high up there, but maybe it's not. Okay, so you would go through that. Now, let's just say the second one is the auditory. Okay, let's just say the second one is the auditory. I'd say, all right, great. Now put the people back in there. You're standing up the front. How do you feel? And they would say, oh, for some reason, I feel a little bit different. Or they might say, I feel exactly the same. Okay, cool. Either way, that's good. What audio? What do you hear? Oh, I hear people right up the back of the room and they're like snickering and giggling. Well, my next question would be like, how do you know it's about you? And be like, oh, fuck, I never thought about that. I know you never thought about that. That's why you have a problem to start with. I want you to think about it. What if they're not actually, snickering or, I don't know, whatever, like gossiping at all? What if they're actually saying to their next door neighbor, oh my God, this person really knows their shit. Oh my God, have you ever thought about that before? This is the best thing ever. And like when that does happen, how do you feel? Oh my God, I feel amazing. So you see where this is going, right? You get a sense of where this is heading. You can go to the next one, the kinesthetic. Oh, I've got a feeling in my belly or whatever it is, and it's like a feeling of fear. Well, you could say, is it a feeling of fear or is it the feeling of excitement? Oh, I've never thought of the difference. I know you've never thought of the difference. That's why we have a challenge or a problem. When you're really excited, what do you feel? Oh, my hands get a little bit sweaty and I get this feeling in my tummy, like butterflies, whatever it might be. Like, well, that sounds a lot like fear. And then they might say, well, shit, maybe it is. Fuck, maybe it is excitement. Okay, great. Next one. What are you thinking? What's your thoughts? Oh, well, before it was like, I can't do this. And now it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I have the opportunity to do this. And just by tinkering with all these little things, like you just get it's a huge breakthrough. But what it is it's giving the person the freedom to figure out what's going on within their own mind. That's really it in a nutshell. You're getting the person to change their different point of view of what's going on within their life, and it's giving them the freedom to choose what the public speaking means. Now, once upon a time, I would say that I had a so-called fear of public speaking for all the reasons that we just pretty much talked about. But for myself personally, my mission and my purpose was so much stronger that I was able to do it. But after I did it, I was wrecked. Because within my body, it was like I was going to war. It's like, you're not going to war, you're going to do something that you love to do. There's a big difference. So now, or, even after I transform that just through literally very similar to what we just did, now I can do it because of the sheer fact that I love to do it. And not only can I do it because I love to do it, but here's the big thing that I've learned in probably the last 6 months, is that when I get off track, that's when I'm truly on track. You might want to write that down. I think it's an absolute cracker. When I'm off track, that's when I'm truly on track. Because on my little tangents, like the powwows that we have, when I go on my little tangents, that's where all the gold is coming from. Because I'm not thinking about it. It's not necessarily me. It's it's all there, and it's coming through me rather than from me, so to speak. So give yourself permission to get off track. Give yourself permission to pause and to look away and to think and not to be in a rush to get somewhere. I tell you what, there is nothing more important, well, this is just my perception, there's nothing more important than sitting down with someone, especially if it's got to do with you, and they genuinely dive in to thinking and problem solving. And they take time to come up with different scenarios for whatever it is that you're going through. Now, would you rather that, or would you rather someone give you like generic sort of run-of-the-mill processes and, things to do? Or would you rather someone really be like, hang on a second, let me take your problem just for a minute and I'm going to wear it. I'm going to experience it, and then and then I'm fucking definitely going to give it back to you, but then I'm going to be able to sort of help you out the most. I'd be like, fuck yeah, so you actually care about my problem or about the results that I want? Yep, good. You and I are going to get along just fine. Okay, so that's just my Perception. It's like if you genuinely care about people, people genuinely care about what you have to say. But if you're just saying shit for the sake of saying shit without really thinking about what the person is going through or individually what you could potentially go through, that's when things are different. Do you guys get the feeling, the sensation, the insight of whatever it is, but the things that are coming out of my mouth, I've actually thought about the scenarios that you could encounter within the future? Like, do you get that from today? Yeah, so it's not just me talking about a whole bunch of shit and be like, oh, well, I hope it works for you. It's like, no, hang on a second. When you go in and do this, what are the other things that you need to know? It's like, that's the sort of stuff that I'd want to be signing up for, right? So I'm telling you right now, you'll sit down in front of people, you'll fucking blow their mind. Because like, wow, this person really cares. This is strange. You're like, yeah, this is what it's all about. Okay, so there you go. Any questions on the primary communication side of things? You got to worry about 4 things. You've got to focus on 4 things. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you say to yourself?